Yes, guys, we are finally back. We finally made it to another reaction, guys. The second one on this YouTube platform, guys. And of course, the very first one will be on the Mr. Leaks reaction, guys. Our link will be in the first comment in the comment box, guys. And of course, with that said, welcome to this here Brbptv. Be real, be positive television, brothers and sisters. Definitely give this video a thumbs up. I would appreciate that right there. Click the thumbs up button, guys. Click the thumbs up button. And of course, with that said, guys, let us get into the vibrations for today, right there. Now, guys, this is none other than Matt. I know a number of persons are vexed with Matt and say, Matt is the journalist, all kind of brothers and sisters. I think Matt did a good job in that regard right there from what I heard, asking the relevant questions that need to be asked. I only heard about like a minute of this thing, so we're going to check out the whole thing right there. Let's take a listen.
Contractor that of course was given a contract by the government to complete the stadium, the works in the stadium. He's on the telephone with me. His name is Watson Clinton Canaville. That's his name. Mr. Canaville, good morning to you, sir, and I'm happy you could join us at this time to tell us the story of what happened to your contract with the stadium, with the government. Can you tell us, sir?
Yes, I am. Basically, as we speak, I really cannot tell you anything because I don't know.
So the man who got the contract to do what needs to be done has absolutely no idea what is going on. That is what he's telling us. The one who got the contract doesn't know what is going on. So where does it lead? If he doesn't know what's going on, if he's really truthful, he doesn't know what's going on, then who has given the contract? Or who is the contract giver? Brothers and sisters, I think then that blame will then fall on that person, not on the contract holder. If the contract holder doesn't even know what is going on. But let's continue.
I really don't know. The contract was given to me, and a lot of things happened. I am still the principal contractor, but a lot of things happen. I believe things are behind because of due to unforeseen circumstances, which I was not aware of.
Unaware of, caused by you or caused by the people who gave the contract? Which one? Guys, when I start my thing, when I start my podcast, hopefully them folks can come on and we can get some real, let's continue.
Well, we were at the news conference, recently, and we were told that there were some contractual problems there. So we just wanted to get to the bottom of the story as to why, this contract was broken or not continued.
As far as I'm concerned, Mr. Peltier, no contract has been broken. No.
So if the contract is not broken and you don't know what's going on, that leaves us at zero still. Anyways, let's continue.
No one has said nothing to me about it.
So why?
Okay. I'm hearing rumors about that, but no one has spoken to me about that. So I really cannot contribute towards what you want to hear.
No, I'm just saying. So why is work stopped on?
Has work stopped? Yes, that's a good question to ask.
On that contract on the stadium.
Has it begun? What exactly is going on?
Work is stopped because there is some. I don't know if you listened to the Prime Minister last week. There was a technical problem. I know what the technical problem is, but who instigated the technical problem, I really don't know.
Oh, you know who instigated the technical problem, sir. You do know. We all know.
I have an idea.
You have an idea?
I have an idea, yes.
So
what instigated that?
Who instigated the problem? You don't, because the Prime Minister said there was some problem and we don't know what the problem is. But would you be able to share with us what the problem may be? Maybe, let's say you might know. Yes. So what?
Yes, I believe it's to do with the template. The template is a piece of equipment which goes with the poles, the light poles.
Okay.
And to enable you to use the templates, you have to dig the holes for the poles. And my intended suppliers in China, Mercury, it is in my proposal that I would be getting the equipment from China, but somehow something happened, and then I believe the representative of the government started going all over the world looking for that piece of equipment.
Why did they do that? If they're looking for that equipment, okay, on the basis of what he just said, that they'll have to dig something to put the pools in or whatever, does that mean there's an additional expense that will be incurred? If there's an additional expense that will be incurred as a result of the 12 point whatever that was put aside, then that means maybe they don't have more monies to put into doing what needs to be done. So the minister went out to try to find out if they can, you know, get this stuff that is needed, so they wouldn't have to do all that job, and they probably couldn't find it. Well, then again, who built this stadium now?
Without my knowledge. So I believe that is the problem, and up to now the holes are not down there as yet. Now, if I was given the opportunity to do my work as a contractor, the lights would have been switched on by now.
So there was interference. Maybe they think they could bypass the contractor for them to do it themselves, or have the contractor doing it, allegedly doing it, and then somebody goes to find what needs to be done, brings it to the contractor for him to put up, and less money is given to him. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
It would have been switched on by now.
Yes, sir.
Somebody else got involved.
Yes, sir.
You just said who, eh?
I don't know who.
But you just said one of the ministers went out. You just don't know who? Okay.
I'm not in a position. I really don't know what happened.
You're not in a position to say. We can read between the lines, you know, sir. You're not in a position to say, because you might not want to lose your contract. If you were to say and expose things, they might just decide, you know what, let's get somebody else to do it. Maybe, you know, that's very common in Dominica. People refuse to talk. I was watching a video of Jordan Peterson speaking about Jonah. When the individuals out there who know what needs to be done, who need to say something, they say they're not doing it. So when they decide they're not doing it now, they decide to go against what they should be doing. It gets worse for them. That's what happening. That's what's happening in Dominica. It's very clear to see. When things need to be done, it's not being done. When things need to be said, it's not being said. Therefore, things get worse, brothers and sisters. There's always this quote that goes, good people, something about good people doing something or saying something. If they refuse to do it, brothers and sisters, then it is their fault. It is a heck of a thing when good people refuse to do what they know needs to be done, and then utter chaos takes place afterwards. But hey, you know, that's the culture in Dominica right now.
I heard the Prime Minister say there was a technical problem, but
you heard the Prime Minister say there's a technical problem, that of which you have no clue. But you said that if you were given your mandate to do what you need to do, if you were doing your work, the lights would have been up today. The lights would have been up today, he said, the contractor has said, but there's something else taking place behind closed doors that he himself has no clue about. He might know, he might not know, but he knows that there's something going on. Somebody went to search for whatever equipment or whatnot behind his back. He's the contractor. So it doesn't, okay.
What I wanted to hear was, what is the technical problem and who instigated it? I did not hear that. So that's all I can say about the project. I finished my part. The integral part of the contract is the electric, and this is where I'm strong. And I'm not being given the opportunity to continue, or I've been hearing certain things that there's another contractor. I don't know. No one has said nothing to me about that.
Oh, so there's another contractor. There's another contractor. Well, there have to be another contractor. The mere fact they're bypassing you to go and do things that you're supposed to be doing. There have to be some other ones. Or there are people pretending to be contractors. Or they come in to contract you to find out, hey, what needs to be done now? Then they go behind your back. You know, like when you have things coming up and people come to find out information. How are you doing that then? How are you doing this and how are you doing that? That reminds you of a story of an individual who went to learn how to cook by a particular individual. He learned to cook from the individual, you know. When he learned to cook whatever the individual cooking, he then went out to start his own restaurant to cook the same thing that he was taught to do. So isn't that sentiment? Learning from what the contractor say. Maybe the contractor was cheaper or whatever, or probably he expensive, and the new contractor they get is probably, that's what he basically alleging. There's a possibility there could be another contractor. So if the other contractor is cheaper than the other one, then what could we do? We go into him to find out the information, because he most likely has more expertise, and then we'll pass on the information to the other contractor who is cheaper to do what the you know, there's a substance to that, brothers and sisters. Let's continue.
You know, but I don't know what's going on. I really don't know.
So you
we should have switched the lights on by now, sir. The lights should have been blazing by now.
I'm at a loss, sir, because you're saying, you know, if you were allowed to do your work, the lights would have been on now as we speak.
Say that again. Say that again. I did not hear that.
You're saying to Dominica right now, if you were allowed to continue your work, the lights would have been on by now.
Is that accurate, sir?
Definitely.
Definitely, it's accurate. So who are the ones preventing the contractor from doing his job? The only set of people who could be stopping him from doing his job are the people who gave him the contract in the first place. Who else? You think Melissa is the one doing that? You think Melissa says, I don't like it, no, you're ugly. No, brothers, it's not so that it does work. There's another question I have to ask now. On the basis of the contract, if there's a breach of contract, what is the punishment for the breach of contract? What is the clause that is put in place where you breach the contract to then give it to somebody else? Was there any signature done? Was there anything that the contract was signed to then say, you know, this and that? Or was there a clause in the contract that say, okay, if we decide to terminate, there's no punishment that can happen from this one? Is there anything of that sort?
Definitely, sir. We would have been switched on. We would have been ready for anything at the Windsor Park Stadium if I was allowed to continue my duty as a contractor.
Right now, if you were allowed to continue your work, the lights would have been on by now.
Definitely, sir. We would have been switched on. We would have been ready for anything at the Windsor Park Stadium if I was allowed to continue my duty as the principal contractor.
So why were you not allowed?
I don't know, sir. That's a very good question.
Did you ask them? What did they say? What is preventing you from continuing?
I cannot answer that question.
Do you think the government might be able to answer that question?
Yes.
Oh, so you know. That was a good one, Matt. That was a good one. Do you think the government can be able to answer that question? He said yes. Therefore, he knows who is preventing him from doing these things. That's a good. I love it. That is journalism right there. That not just taking report and writing on paper on website and say, oh look, I is a journalist because I report in. Yeah, great. That is the art of true journalism right there. Investigative journalism, brothers and sisters.
Your representative should be able to answer that.
Because as a result of what is going on, we are unable to host the next year's cricket. So that's unfortunate.
To them, I signed the contract on the 3rd of January.
Oh, you signed it. Okay. So there's a signature. 3rd of January. This year, 2023.
And we had ample time.
No, it cannot be. But wait a while. The contract is 2024 now. Be presented September. They got the contract. It's now December. So which January are you talking about? The bid was made in May. Oh, so I think the contract that he's talking about was in January on the basis of not the World Cup stadium, but to put the lights up. So in January of 2023, most likely it was the year he got the contract to fix the stadium, to put the things, because remember Hurricane Maria mashed up the stuff 2017, right? So okay, that makes sense. All right, I was trying to figure out how did you get to do that when, you know, anyways.
Based on what we told national, international community that we will be ready in June this year. All right, we had plenty time. We had ample time.
Oh, so you got the contract in January. So things would be ready in June of 2023. If things were ready in June of 2023, we would have no problem organizing for 2024, June of 2024, when the World Cup would be shown. But apparently there's somebody in the background, the government of which he said would most likely be able to answer that question. Who is preventing these things from happening? I hope, Matt, next time you ask, oh, when is press release done? When is the next press release, brothers and sisters?
To do what we had to do and switch the electrics on. We had plenty of time. So there's no excuse whatsoever why we were unable to switch the lights on. No excuse at all. If I was left. alone to do my work as the principal contractor, the Windsor Park would have been blazing into electrics right now because I designed it. I'm the designer for the project. And I designed it through nearly 400 million luminous intensity. That's very strong light. And I had everything in hand until something, I don't know what went wrong.
You know what went wrong, bro. You know what went wrong. You just don't want to say it. You know the government has some dealings in there. Because you will ask the questions. Do you think the government can answer these questions? He said yes. Then he said ask their representatives. So who's the representatives? Is this CBI? Is this the CBI individuals that you're talking about, the representatives of the government? Would that be Anthony Hayden? Maybe Anthony Hayden wants to do it. Maybe Anthony Hayden is the other contractor. I don't know, brothers and sisters. I'm just going off what I've heard there.
What caused them to do that? They did things without my knowledge. They spoke to my subcontractor without my knowledge. They started going around all over the place looking for templates without my knowledge.
So they were trying to bypass you. Maybe they couldn't afford it. So they tried to go on the cheaper way. Isn't that a normal thing in Dominica, brothers and sisters? For example, let's say the bridge costs $18 million to build. Roseau Bridge. $18 million to bridge, they probably build the bridge for $6 million and they pocket the rest. They pocket the rest of the money, $12 million. So maybe they were trying to do the same thing. Hey, let's see if we can pocket some money. Maybe, I don't know. Who knows what is going on behind closed doors? The people of Dominica have absolutely no clue what on earth is going on in their own country. I mean, the very understanding of construction, brothers and sisters, has been handled by foreigners. And the Dominicans in Dominica can actually handle it. Dominicans used to build bridges before, brothers and sisters. The bridge didn't fall down. They bring Chinese to renovate bridge. All them bridge the Chinese renovate fall down.
And I had to get involved. And all the countries that or the companies that they went to about the template, that equipment, told them they cannot separate the templates from the poles. And the only company that was willing to do that was Mercury in China.
So they went behind your back. Probably didn't have the money to pay you, didn't have the money to fulfill the contract. So they went behind your back to try to organize these things without actually telling you. Because you yourself said they went to talk to subcontractors. Your very people that were under you, not you. So they probably tried a shortcut. Tried to get a shortcut.
So I really don't know. We should have been switched on, sir. I'll say that to anybody. We should have been switched on. We have plenty of time. I was even asked that will we have time to switch the lights on by June? I said yes, and they asked me why. How? I told them I can put a day shift in place on a night shift, and I got everybody ready for that. Nothing was done, sir. So I don't know what went wrong. Something went wrong.
No money. That's what went wrong, bro. There's no money in Dominica. Very little monies. What is happening in the airport, we don't know. Maybe all the money go to the airport. Well,
you seem broken, sir. You seem broken.
Of course he's broken. They're going behind his back to do things that he know he could have done in a timely manner. So what's gonna look on his record? On his record, it's gonna look bad because apparently he didn't get to finish what he needed. So he coming on the air to clear his name would be a good thing. But you should give more information, sir. I know you're trying to protect the very. I know it's very obvious to see.
Pardon?
I say you seem broken. You're disappointed that they did not allow you to continue your work.
I am, because I am there as the main contractor, as the electrical contractor, which is the integral part of the contract. And what I understood is that they get another contractor. I'm not sure about that because no one said nothing to me as yet about another contractor. I'm just hearing rumors about that.
So there's rumors. Okay. Bro, the mere fact that they go behind your back trying to find out about the templates that you had and those kind of things there, seeing how they can bypass and see if they can make it shortcut. Don't you think there's somebody behind this? He's probably right. Who exactly is instigating? That's probably what he's talking about. Who exactly instigated it? Somebody probably told the government officials, whoever that is probably the contract givers, probably tell him, hey, we can probably do it this way. If we do it that way, yeah man, we can do it that way. Let's see if we can do it that way. So they let him continue doing his thing. He probably wanted to get ahead for him to be able to do certain things. He could not. And then he's hearing a number of things happening behind his back.
I'm hearing. Yes, go ahead.
If that is not allowed to happen, I'll be very, very disappointed because I am the designer. I did everything. The methodologies of how the work was going to be done, I did everything. And for them to get somebody else to do the work, I'm very disappointed. It will put me off my country, honestly.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to leave. Sometimes you have to leave, brothers and sisters, because they say a prophet is never honored in his own homeland. Prophet is never honored in his own homeland. With all those things that a lot of us did for Dominica, brothers and sisters, even bringing people from overseas to come here. None of us never get it's not like we're looking for these kind of things, brothers and sisters. But when you're doing your best to see if you can make things happen for your country, and your country constantly bamboozles you and brings you down, what do you expect to happen? Huh? Would you expect much to happen, brothers and sisters? Anyways, let's continue right there.
Are you a Dominican, sir?
Yes, sir. I was born in Maho.
Sorry about that, guys. Let's get back to that vibrations right there.
When
I'm a real 150,000 million % Dominican.
That is Dominican, me? I wonder if that is Dominican Republican. No, that is Dominican. 150,000 million % demand.
Well, I'm still at a loss as to why they may have taken the contract from you or give it to somebody else. And
as I said to you, Mr. Percy,
it's alleged.
No one said nothing about taking contract from me. I'm just hearing things on the street. People asking me what happened. I don't know. I'm baffled. I don't know what happened. All I know is that we had enough time, Mr. Percy, to switch the lights on this year. Enough time. Plenty time.
And this is just the lights, brothers and sisters. They have to prepare Benjamin's Park too. They have to prepare pitches, and I don't think that's going to take much to do. Because I saw some of them people preparing the pitches when they clear this stuff and roll the thing and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. They organize that in a day. So not to say that's going to be a hard task to do, but preparing the lights and doing the necessary things so that the people coming in for 2-3 games, my goodness. 2-3 games can get to facilitate and enjoy themselves. They prepare, but apparently there's something happening behind closed doors that we apparently don't know about. We have an idea. We don't really know for sure, but we have an idea that something is happening.
More than enough time to switch the lights on at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium this year. It was scheduled to be switched on in June this year or July the latest. We had plenty time, sir. But somebody did something. Somebody played clever, whatever he called himself.
Oh, you pick it up, okay? Because I know somebody playing clever. They trying to bypass you. You know that. They trying to bypass you. It's very obvious to see. Probably thinking they can do it with somebody else and realize, hey, we cannot do it. We don't have the money to pay that contractor. No, it doesn't make sense for him. I mean, why doesn't the government just come out and tell the people, hey guys, we have tried our best. The country is not making much money. Dominicans not creating much surplus. And we have that. They have been saying this before, so it cannot be something new. Come and tell the people the same thing you've been telling them now. At least, but you realize the people cannot just constantly be hearing this thing over and over and over. For how much years? When Reginald come and say Dominica has been last for too long. Reginald himself came and said this when he has been in government for over 10 years. Come and say the government Dominica has been last for too long when you have been leading Dominica into the last state that it is. Dominica wasn't last, brothers and sisters. Back in 1995, and this place is in 1990, 1880. Dominica wasn't last, brothers and sisters. People I've met overseas who told me they came to do operations in Dominica. If you look at my Les Saints videos, brothers and sisters, there was an individual I met. And he was the one who told me that he came to Dominica. He's never been back Dominica since. He came to Dominica for an operation. It was successful. He went back. He's in Les Saints. Check out my Les Saints, Mr. Lick's Les Saints vlog. We were doing some skating on his skating on his skateboard and whatnot. And he was telling us these things. You can check it out, brothers and sisters. He came to Dominica. Never been back. So you think it's Dominica elevated? And when people used to leave their country, Guadeloupe, all kind of places to come to Dominica and shop. People have told me all these things. They used to come to Dominica and shop. Now Dominicans come in their country and shop. Imagine that.
Clever so and so stepped in and then decided, well, to do something different. We had plenty time, sir. But somebody did something. Somebody played clever, whatever he called himself, clever so and so, stepped in and then decided, well, to do something different. You know, so I'm very disappointed, like you, like every Dominican, because.
But they probably realize you're Dominican and decide, hey, let's give him the contract and say, oh, we can't give the Dominican all that money. We are not getting any cut in this. Doesn't make any sense. I'm just giving my thought process on based of previous understandings that have happened before, brothers and sisters. So they probably checking, you know what? Doesn't make sense we give him the contract. Let's see if we can bypass him so we can get some monies in that regard. It failed. Therefore, Dominica sent out a report stating, hey, guys, we're not able to host this stuff because we will not be prepared. Or whoever was doing the process and realized what's going on based on the trajectory of things, realized that Dominica is not prepared, and as a result decided to pull away and will not host any games in Dominica. Dominica lost that way. Dominica lost it way. Then other places come and say, oh, Dominica opted out, or Dominica nonsense. You see what all your prime ministers, see what all your leaders do in Dominica? You see what all your leaders do in Dominic, doing all you, the people that will most likely benefit from it?
Two places we should have been blazing up to now. I had everything in hand. We had enough time. So don't let anybody tell you any difference. I'm the principal contractor and you're speaking to him. We had enough time to switch the lights on at the Interpark Sports Stadium this year. Not next year, but this year.
This year, we?
Well, I want to say
the light should have been done during the
festival.
Creole Festival. We had enough time to do that.
But yes, they had don't I realize it, you guys? They had extra lights. They had not lights from the stadium, but they had other lights during for real, we.
Somebody, somebody wanted to play clever dick, or whatever they call him, but he messed up, or they messed up. Somebody wanted to play clever dick, or whatever they call him.
Somebody wanted to be clever. Of course. A lot of clever fools are there.
For him, but he messed up, or they messed up, I don't know.
He messed up, or they messed up.
Well, again,
part of the contract is electric. This is my area. I design everything and not getting the opportunity to do the electrical work at the sports stadium, Windsor Park Sports Stadium. I'm very disappointed that is going to happen. I'd like the Prime Minister to step into that.
Oh, of course. You think the Prime Minister can answer all you give any clear? He'll probably say, guys, I don't believe that we should be asking questions about, the stadium. I don't think we should be asking questions. Just like he say, you don't think we should be asking questions about the parliamentarians receiving a pay increase. He said that way. The man said he doesn't believe that Dominicans should not be asking any questions about parliamentarians receiving pay rises. Boy. So maybe he'll say the same thing. You don't believe that we should be asking any questions about, Dominicans asking about lights and this. It's not only country, it's scary country that day, Well, you realize that scary say he run things from AM to PM. He working for himself. Because he said the lights would have been up. By June it would have been up, but apparently they tried to bypass him. Maybe they realize maybe he's not on their side. Maybe that's what they realize. I don't know. Sometimes it's a favor they give to the people, even though the people might be incompetent. Not all of them, but a lot of them are incompetent and they put them in positions to do competent work. Boy.
Well, the Prime Minister is out of state. I'm sure he will get the message that you're very disappointed that you were not allowed to continue doing your work at the Windsor Park Stadium.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Guys, what are your thoughts, man? Another contractor has spoken, and from what I understood, he said that the lights would have been up already if he was allowed to continue doing his job. That was not the case. Lights still not up. He did not continue to do his job. He's saying new rumors that there was some other contractor that most likely was being given the stuff. He stated that there are people in the government, apparently it's alleged that the people in the government have been going out there to try to find different things that needed to be done to set up, bypassing him. So if all these things is happening, brothers and sisters, you ask the question, rather interesting earlier on the interview that Matt gave, who is instigating all of this? Is it MMCE? Is it Scared? Who? But if the Dominica was allowed to be given that money, brothers and sisters, that would have then circulated within the economy. That would have bettered himself and his family, as well as all the other individuals that were under him. And of course, these monies would also help to circulate in the country. But, you know, oh boy, well, that's what the people want. That's what the people want. And the people get what they truly deserve. The people get what they truly deserve. It's about Mr. Leaks on this here Brbptv, guys. Remember, guys, be real, be positive.